What's going on, everybody? So the fear to greed index is at a 65, right? This is exciting because this is the beginning of August and there's a lot of high expectations, right? Especially with these crypto pundits, aka these experts that get a lot of, airtime on television or these articles, right? And of course, the market has been dipping, but in my opinion, once again, and not financial advice, you guys know I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy drinking water as I'm making this video, right? But you look at XRP is below 298. XRP had a phenomenal July. You guys know that XRP did far better than I expected, right? It hit 352 at one point. It really went up, right? I thought XRP, if it would go past 330, we would top out at 340 the most, but we exceeded that. Okay. Now here go the thing. Let me get straight into it. If XRP gets, hits, breaks out to $3.30, which it did last month, then realistically we could go to 375 or maybe even higher. Of course, if that happens, there would be a massive pullback because the closer we get to $4, you're going to have a lot of people taking profit, right? Also, I'm paying attention to XLM. I bought some XLM yesterday at 39 cents, right? I think XLM could also have a phenomenal month where XLM could hit, anywhere from 70 to 90 cents. Okay. Now it all depends on, of course, what goes on because August is a long month and, anything could happen, right? I mean, anything could happen, but you guys know me. I always tell you guys, have a plan, right? This is why it's important. If the market moves up, do you have prices, that you want to take profit at for your short-term bags, or do you are you planning to buy if the market continues to dip? Oh, let me turn off my alarm here. Right? So that's very important. Another thing is we have predictions where you have these pundits predicting that Bitcoin will hit anywhere from 123 to 133. Okay, I have 133 by the end of August. I mean, that's a huge task. That would be a new all-time high, but I don't see why not. I mean, we hit 122 last month. We almost hit 123, right? So that is possible. Another thing I want to talk about, guys, is XDC making major moves, right? And, let me just say this. For people that are listening to these cats that say, oh, XDC ain't doing nothing, XDC. Listen, these are the same type of clowns that told you that Theta was going to hit $100 back in 2021. And then Theta didn't even make it past 15. Shout out to Maurice because he sold the top, right? When everybody was telling him, don't sell your Theta. What are you doing, bro? Whoop-de-woo. He was able to pay off his debt. He's debt free. Meanwhile, them cats that was waiting for Theta to hit $100, they had to sell at 2 because, it never even went there, right? And honestly, good luck seeing Theta go into $100. XDC will definitely hit $100. Might take anywhere from 3 to 5 years, but when we see that now they're talking about having an XDC ETF, that to me is a signal, right? Because we know that XDC just got listed on Binance US. And here's the thing, if XDC is serious about having an ETF, which they are, they're going to have to get on Coinbase before they do, right? So we could see XDC within the next 6 to 12 months. I'm hoping sooner than later that it gets listed on Coinbase. Why? Because a lot of these institutions like BlackRock, they actually use Coinbase as a custody for the crypto. Okay, that's where they're getting it from, right? They buy OTC, and that's how they do it. So this is major news for XDC, right? And with XDC, let me just say this, because a lot of clowns don't understand XDC. XDC is not something that you buy and then you are looking to swing trade, meaning that you buy it now and then a week or two later it goes up and you sell. No, XDC is like a long-term hold, bro. So if we're talking about XDC is going to hit, $50 to $100 within 3 to 5 years, that's what I'm talking about, right? It's kind of like getting into Ethereum in 2015 when ETH was like, 50 cents, and then ETH went on its run. Now, XDC ETFs get approved, XDC gets listed on Coinbase, then there's no reason why XDC couldn't hit $50 or more within 3 to 5 years, right? It's just no reason. Also, you got this news. Brazil's Vert Capital to tokenize 1 billion in real-world assets on XDC network, right? So they're using XDC's blockchain to tokenize $1 billion worth of assets, okay? And this is a real company. Right? So this is crazy. Vert Capital, a Brazilian credit structuring and securitization firm, plans to tokenize up to $1 billion in debt and receivables on XDC network, expanding the scope of public blockchain use in structured finance. This is major news. This is huge. And what this means is that basically now we're talking about something that I've been talking about for years. For real world adoption to happen, you need utility, meaning that it has to be usable by, not just everyday people, aka retailers, but also by these institutions, these companies. This is major news, right? I posted this news yesterday in the Telegram group. Nobody says nothing. A lot of people see, and it's one of the reasons why I really wonder if people are locked in, because I post some of these articles and it's big news. I post some of these videos, it's big news. I don't know if cats are watching the video. If you are watching this video, man, let me know in the comments, say Reese's Pieces, bro. For real. Because I'll send you a Reese's Pieces. I really, because at the end of the day, I'm looking at what's going on and I'm wondering, do you guys understand? Like, do people see what's really going on? XDC just got announced on Binance. Okay. XDC just announced that they have a partnership with Vert Capital that plans to tokenize up to $1 billion in real world X's on XDC. Okay. Like, the excitement is not enough, right? And this is insane, because if you are familiar with XDC, you should be buying this, in my opinion, because this is a great hold. But here's the crazy part, and this is how I realize a lot of people don't really care about this stuff, because a lot of people just want to hear something sexy. If this was a meme coin like Millennia or Trump that was just doing crazy numbers, oh, y'all would jump into it. Even, I remember people buying Trump coin when it was $40 high, right? But then you tell somebody, yo, get XDC, it's 10 cents. Nah, they don't want to get that. 10 cents is too much. It doesn't have a bunch of zeros. But you had no problem putting your money into Trump coin, right? Now, Trump coin was a top 20 coin. It's top 50 now. Nothing bad, nothing wrong with it. But it's at $8.80. And we haven't seen Trump coin at $40 since. Now, I do think Trump coin will will hit when the bull run really gets going. I think Trump coin will get back to the previous all-time high of 75, and I think Trump coin will even exceed that, go to $100. But it just goes to show you, the point I'm trying to make is that people, when something moves up, people are not worried about the price. Why? Because the FOMO kicks in, right? So you don't have an issue buying Trump coin at, $40. But here's the crazy part. Now that Trump coin is under $10, nobody's talking about it. Nobody, not in the group. I don't see YouTubers talk about it. I don't even see it on Twitter. Nobody's talking about Trump coin, because at this price, Trump coin is a great pickup. Now, me personally, I only have one Trump coin. I don't listen. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I just bought it just to say that I have one. You know what I'm saying? And when I bought mine, I bought it at $12. I feel like I got a decent deal, considering that it was at 75 and there were people buying it at 40 in the group. So I feel like I got a good deal on my Trump coin. But let's go back to XDC like I never left, because it's fresh like good breath. So here we are. XDC's at 9 cents, almost at 10 cents. And I'm looking at XDC and I'm seeing what's going on. They got listed on Binance, right? Then the co-founder comes out. I saw a video of him talking about they're trying to get an ETF. And then this got announced literally 2 days ago that they're going to be working with this Brazilian Vert capital to tokenize it as a real world asset on the XDC network blockchain. This is major news, right? So then I'm looking at the Coinbase roadmap because I'm thinking to myself, okay, if they're trying to get an ETF, realistically speaking, to make it easier for the institutions, you gotta get on Coinbase. So depending on how fast you want to get on Coinbase, you gotta figure that XDC is before they get the ETF approved, and realistically speaking, that they're going to be listed on Coinbase, and that's going to be major. And you ain't even got to wait for it to get listed on Coinbase. You ain't got to wait for it to be listed on Coinbase, right? You can get it on Uphold, which you guys know I don't rock with Uphold for obvious reasons, because so many people, even in the group, have mentioned that they've had troubles moving their funds. I'm not a fan. You can get it on Bitmark. Right, you can get it on a D app. Just make sure you got the right contract, right? But this is major. This is major news, right? And then not only that with the XDC, because you guys know I rock with the XDC heavy, but the White House came out with their crypto report. And listen, I'm gonna be real. I thought it was gonna be like a little 10-page report. Nah, bro, it's 166 pages. So I did a little Kim K through it, skim. I just skimmed through it, right? Like the Kim K line, right? For those that don't know, Kim K owns a fashion line called Skim, right? And then when you read something really fast or glance, it's called skimming, right? Okay, you guys get it. So this is major news, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like I said, I didn't read the whole thing. I did see some things. It explains what digital assets are. It talks about DeFi. It talks about advice to how to tax crypto and what the SEC should do. I mean, guys, 2 years ago, if you would have told me we would have a White House, this is the whitehouse.gov website, right? That we would have the White House talking about digital assets, crypto, talking about DeFi, talking about oracles, because they talk about Chainlink, right? Talking about RWAs, real world assets, right? This blows my mind. And it's interesting to me that everybody's so focused on, the T app, and people are focused on Shannon Sharp, and people are focused on women and this and that. And meanwhile, the whole, the world as we know it is about to change in a major way, because they're pushing this crypto through because they know everything is moving digitally now. And it's going to be spurred by AI. You see it already. People are losing their jobs left and right because of AI. Right? I've got friends personally that I know that were in marketing. They lost their job because of AI. And crypto, AI, and all this tech that it's not just crypto and AI, but all this new tech that's going to be coming out here very soon within the next 5 to 10 years is going to blow a lot of your minds. And then subsequently after that, it's going to blow a lot of your minds. You think that Vivo 3 or whatever it's called is crazy, right? Like they said, now you can make a movie for 2 hours by just typing in prompts. You know how insane that is? As a content creator who, I've made content, there's been some videos where I really had to sit down and I would have to write a script and this and that. Now when I write a script, I tell ChatGPT what I wanted to do, and then I rewrite the script. I add my little sense of humor or touch with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, this video ain't a script. You guys know this is just off me reading articles and off the dome. But man, I really need people to understand, bro, like things are about to change in a major way, right? That's one of the reasons why in the Telegram group, I posted that Night Talk video, because there's people that are still out here keying and playing. They don't understand, like, everything is about to change in a major way. By 2028, life is going to look completely different for everybody that listens to the video. By 2028, your life is going to be different, right? You hold XDC, XRP, XLM, you might be a millionaire. Life is going to be completely different because of everything that's happening, and it's happening at a fast rate. And I don't know if people realize that, because now, bro, the other day, for the last couple of days, I've been watching, you guys know I watch different things on the news, right? But I've been watching CNBC, and they had like yesterday, like the other day I was watching CNBC, and they had like a 10-minute segment on crypto. Just like a 10-minute segment. And it's like these news stations, they used to clown crypto and look at it like it was some sort of a fad, right? Now they having 10-minute news segments on crypto. Like, and then I'm watching CNBC again, and every day they bring on a different guy, right? They bring on different pundits or different experts to talk about crypto now. Like, they really taking it seriously now. And you can tell, like, these news networks, they're trying to like really come up on this information, because now crypto is here to stay. It's not going nowhere, period. And if you're in right now, your dollar cost averaging right now, right? I saw somebody mention that they finally hit 1,500 XRP yesterday. That's amazing, right? On X. Because there are people out here, bro, that still they don't know nothing about crypto. And a lot of you guys don't realize that, you know, a lot of new people that are going to come in, they're going to get clapped, because the learning curve for crypto is so steep, right? Remember the first time you tried to move crypto, how nervous you were? Or using a sketchy D app that you thought was sketch, right? People don't know how to do that, right? My lady friend, I keep telling her, yo, get a ledger, get a ledger, get a ledger. She just got, you know, her money sitting on Coinbase and Robinhood, right? Her XRP, her HBAR, all of that, her algo, and I'm just like, yo, get a ledger. Every time I'm talking to her, get a ledger. She ain't listening, right? And the other day, too, I saw somebody post talking about his dad's friend asked him if he buys $300 worth of XRP, and then XRP hits, you know, 10,000 per coin, he's going to sell a third, right? And you're going to get that, too. I remember in 2021, my boy Will called me, and he was just like, yo, if I buy $100 worth of Shiba Inu, will it get to $1 million? And literally, I had to spend an hour with him on the phone, and I sent him like an email explaining market cap to him. Right? And the crazy part is, that's one of the reasons why, like, I came up with the crypto course, because it's like, I don't have time to be sitting and explaining this to everybody. Because I know what's about to happen. It's going to get busy, right? My phone already was chirping in July, but it's going to get busy, and people are going to call, and then people are going to want to talk and I just don't have that time, because I got to get locked in. I got to make sure that, you know, I get the content out for you guys if it starts to get crazy, to make sure that you guys are in a stoic mindset. Because remember, when people start going crazy and, oh, Solana hit $300 per coin again, right? When people start losing their mind, you want to make sure that you are, you know, your veins are cold as ice, so that way you're able to take profit. Because what happened last time, we know that last time people got so excited that they just watched their portfolio all day, but then they wouldn't sell. or they sold too little, or they didn't sell enough, right? So now is the time to really get locked in. Really get locked in, whether crypto goes up or down, right? Because we were hoping it'll go up. We're expecting it to go up in August. But if it goes down, you really want to be locked in to make sure that, you have a strategy for any scenario. Batman. Remember Batman's contingency plan? I always bring this up because you got to have a different, if let's say Bitcoin goes back to 95K, do you have a plan for that? That means that alts are in disarray or alts are flying, right? Because then the Bitcoin dominance is let off. But do you have different contingency plans for different scenarios? Because everybody, the only plan everybody got is waiting for XRP to hit 10,000. Now, here's the part that people don't want to hear, is that XRP will hit 10,000 per coin. That's set in stone. That's prophetic. I genuinely believe that. The question isn't if XRP will hit 10,000 per coin. The question is when. And this is where it gets a little murky and dicey, because if you buy XRP right now at 298.65, when would it hit 10,000? Could it hit 10,000 within 5 years? Sure. Could it hit 10,000 within 10 years? Definitely. Could it hit 10,000 within 3 years? I don't see why not. The question is when, and the question is if you're able to hold that long. Because if you would have told me in 2015, hey, buy Ethereum, which by the way, in 2015, I wasn't even in crypto, right? But let's say in 2015, you told me, hey, buy Ethereum and it'll go up to 4,000 per coin. In about 6 years? Yeah, why wouldn't you do that, right? So it boggles my mind when I hear people talk about, XRP can't hit 10,000 per coin because of market cap. But XRP is not Bitcoin. That's why you got to get that out the window, because with XRP, we're talking about borderless payments and remittances. So it's a completely different ball game. And then when we're talking about RWAs, we're talking about XDC, and that's being used by this Brazilian capital company, and they're planning to tokenize 1 billion in assets. Guess what? If they do an XDC every time they use XDC, right? Let's say they 500,000 here, 500 million there, they got to use XDC. Now the fees are low, but you're gonna see it like boop, 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 right? It's like we're at that time now where it's like everything is accelerating, right? Faster. Everybody's talking about crypto more in the media. Now you're having all these institutions that are going into this. And then you got people really talking about, what's XDC doing? Get out of here, man. Because I've always said this, the real movers and shakers in crypto are going to be the ones that are going to be utilized by institutions. I said that from day one. That's one of the reasons why when I found out about XRP, I was so bullish on it, because my thing was, whichever crypto these banks finna use, that's the one I want to use. And I know people are like, well, why would you want to use the crypto banks are using? What about decentralization, this and that? And I looked at XRP and I'm like, you know what? This is decentralized enough. I mean, it ain't fully decentralized. Let's keep it real, but this is enough, right? And so the reality is now is we're in a time now where some of you guys are going to be wealthy in a year from now, and you got to have a strategy in place. And I mean, if you go through my catalog, I got videos that are still applicable to this day, where you can watch it, and it gives you advice on, taxes from my accountant, of course, best places to live, strategies, right? I mean, and even from up to here, different utility coins and strategies to have, and how to set up a profit strategy, all of that, bro, that you're not going to get from other YouTubers. Because me personally, I've always been the type of guy that if I can't talk about something, I'll get somebody that can, preferably a professional, right? And so we're at that place now where you got to be locked in. I'm going to share something personal. And if my homie's watching, I'm not trying to put you on blast, but my homie yesterday, and I'm not going to get into details, but he called me. He broke up with his girlfriend, right? Or him and his girlfriend, they broke up. And after me and him got off the phone, I said, yo, time to get locked into crypto again. You see? Because another thing I see happening is people are going to say, well, I'm going to wait for it to go up, then I'm going to jump in. What do you mean wait for it to go up? Bitcoin last year was at like $35,000, $40,000 at this time. Well, what are we talking about? Right? And that's one of the things that people got to realize is like, you know, if you look at Bitcoin last year, let's go back to see. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? So it was a bit more then. It wasn't 40,000, but Bitcoin was at. Let's go to August here. So last year, So last year was about 57K a year ago. Right? Now this only goes back as far, okay. Okay, actually it was 65K. And we've almost doubled. 65 plus 65, that's 130, right? We've almost doubled. So this is how people are. They're going to, well, the altcoins are still low. That's the best time to get them. That's the best time to get them when it's low. Like, I'm looking at XRP this morning because I'm like, oh, man. Because I'm like, do I have enough bread to get some more XRP? Then I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I got some XLM yesterday. I'm cool with that. Let me get some SHIB, right? So I got a little bit of SHIB because I think SHIB, because one thing I know for sure is if ETH runs, SHIB is going to run. Facts, right? And then I'm looking at XDC. I'm like, yo, XDC is making some moves. I really need to stock up on that one because a lot of people are sleeping on XDC. And by the time people figure out that XDC is one of them ones, you know, you want to be in a good place with your XDC. BNB is cool too, but BNB is already, you know, we were already kind of priced out. I feel like I'm priced out. So yeah, guys, this video went a bit longer, but I really want to emphasize, man, this is time to be locked in right now. You feel me? I don't know what people got going on. I really don't know. It's kind of baffling to me, right? Because it's just kind of like, I get the sense that a lot of people are still dealing with meme coins and such, which is, I'm not knocking that. I'm not really knocking that. But you got to also remember, I always tell you guys, man, we want to swim with the whales, not against the whales, right? So it's having meme coins. You guys know I have memes. It's cool. Have some meme coins. Get into some utility coins. Get a couple AI coins if you know what I'm saying. But it's time to be locked in, and it's crazy to me that, you know, if I don't know, maybe because I'm old school crypto, but this is really time to be locked in, man. This is really time to be locked in because now people are coming back now. People are calling me now. People are, I'm getting messages from people like, yo, man, what's up with that? That's usually either that's a top signal or it's a bullish signal, right? But this bull run hasn't been like the ones in the past. This has been a lot of perseverance and patience. Perseverance and patience. I mean, those are real things. And I listen, man. My mom always used to say, to forgive is divine and to err is human, right? Well, patience is divine as well. It's got to be a divine principle because humans, we suck at it, especially me. I know I'm projecting, but I know I suck at being patient. For real, right? But you gotta, but if you're already here and you can't smell what the rock is cooking, and I'm not talking about the rock, but I'm talking about the White House, like they made a 166-page report talking about crypto. The White House, 166-page report talking about crypto. You got XRP, Solana, XDC, ETFs on the way, right? They all filed. XDC just announced that they have this partnership with this company where they're going to tokenize $1 billion in real world assets. And nobody's saying nothing. Like everybody's just quiet. Everybody, I'm looking on X. People are sleeping on XDC. And I'm just thinking to myself, is anybody paying attention? Because I can tell you for a fact, right? My homie who just broke up with his girl, I don't think he's locked into crypto like he was in 2021. There's a different energy when people, you can tell when somebody's locked into crypto. Why? Because that's all they talking about. That's all they talking about. They locked in for real. They up till 3, 4 in the morning. They sending you screenshots of this and that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, like I always say, bro, when I'm locked in, one of the best advice I can tell you is don't listen to outside noise. Right? And what I mean by that is that you're going to have people that are going to call you and they're going to tell you this coin is going to do some crazy numbers. And you're going to have people that are going to like get excited and try to get in your head and say, oh, this coin is going to blah, blah, blah. And then the coin may do it. Usually it doesn't. And then you're disappointed because you listened to somebody and it didn't do it. You got to follow your own instinct. Kind of like Maurice did, right? Because everybody said, oh, Theta's going to $100. Theta's going to $100. Theta didn't go to $100. Maurice sold the top. Facts. He was able to pay off all his debt free. Meanwhile, you got cats that are still waiting for Theta to hit $100. Matter of fact, they're waiting for Theta to hit $3 again. Know what I'm saying? And that's not to crap on Theta. I mean, I like the project. I'm not in it anymore. But last time I checked, now they went from like a Web 3.0, social media type video platform. Now they're moving into AI. It's like, how do you fumble this project like that? Right. Now they're moving to an AI company, Edge Cloud AI and stuff like that. Because the whatchamacallit flopped, right? What they first wanted to do flopped. And I think Theta will still do very well, right? But it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, like, some of these crypto companies, they just hop into any wave, right? They just hop into a wave and this and that. And it's kind of like, well, what happened to your videos, right? But anyway, enough of me picking on Theta. The point I'm trying to make is this. Have a strategy in place. Do not be influenced by people. Even myself. Sit down and have realistic numbers, right? Theta ain't even $1. So let's say you want to sell Theta at $10, right? Then have realistic numbers. If it don't hit $10, have a profit strategy at $5. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just telling you that if I had Theta, which I don't anymore, I would wait, and $10 is my goal. I would scale it up. So I would sell Theta at $1, $2, $5, and so forth, right? That's what I would do. But yeah, man, I mean, I really hope you people are locked in. I really hope people are locked in, man. Because I'm just not getting that vibe that people are locked in like that. And I think it's kind of like where people are passively locked in, where they might look at the charts and because they're Pepe Le Pew coining. Well, shout out to the Pepalonians. Yo, I know Shadow Zulu's definitely watching, man. Shadow Zulu watches all of my stuff, man. Shout out to Shadow Zulu, aka one of the OG Pepalonians, right? But Pepe Le Pew, aka Pepe, right? Are you so right now, Pepe? People aren't paying attention to crypto because, for example, and I'm not picking on Pepe, but I'm just saying your Pepe is at the 11 marker, right? You're like, I need Pepe to hit 20 again or 28, right? So are people really locked in? Are people really dollar cost averaging and buying? I don't know. Because I'm looking at some of these, my YouTubers that I like to watch, like Vision Pulls, right? I know for a fact that when it's popping in crypto, Vision Pulls has 500 people in his live streams. I know when it's when it's the top signal is when Vision Pulls has 1,000 people. You know how I know? Because every time I've been watching Vision Pulls for like 2 years now. And I remember when I was watching him back in January of 2024. Yeah, I started watching him in January 2024. He had 100 people. I mean, nobody was watching him like that. He was struggling, right? And then he got up. Wait, have I been? I think I've been watching. Yeah, I think I've been watching Vision now for 2 years. It's been 2 years. I said one. I don't know, but regardless, he had 100 people. Then when crypto was popping, it went to 500 people. Then when it was the top, it was 1,000 people, and the same thing happened twice, right? My live streams, I don't really get a lot of people. I funny enough, I get more if I live stream and then I use X, I get way more people on X. Way more people. I get way more viewership and traffic on X when I talk about crypto. That's why people wondering, oh, why aren't you on YouTube? Why aren't you live streaming? Because I'll be on X, right? Just posting my little, especially when things are bullish. Because on X, the algorithm actually is not biased and discriminatory like it is on YouTube. That's all. But I'm still on YouTube. You guys know I'm still on YouTube. For people wondering why I haven't been live streaming much, I just really, I've been trying to get locked in because, I've been dealing with life situations. And when you deal with life situations, I try not to let my personal life influence my professional life, including YouTube. You feel me? I try not to have that, affect me because I understand that some people watch me and they really want, to get my input. And I apologize to those people sincerely because sometimes it's tough to make content when you have stuff going on in your life. But at this juncture, right, I hope that people are locked in because things are about to happen. And it's not just, with crypto, but also with this AI. And right now is the time to be really, really locked in, right? Really, really locked in. It's time to be locked in for real. Not just with crypto, but also being locked in with your prayer life. If you're not locked in, praying to Jesus and all of that, you got to be locked in. And I'm speaking for myself. Particularly, I'm not trying to point fingers or talk about the speck in your eye. I'm talking about myself, right? So I want to make that clear. I don't want somebody to feel like I'm shaming them. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, man, let's get it. Remember, put God and family first. That's God and family first. Peace.